Hello, I'm out in our backyard. Steve gave me the new technology stick called the Smooth that he's been using. So I'm going to see if I can actually record a quick video. And it's on a pretty difficult topic. At least it is one that comes from a huge piece of shame in my life. The shame no longer has a grip on me. I've done a lot of healing work around this issue, but it has to do with about 30 years ago. I had an abortion, and boy, tell you what, a lot of untruth being told about abortion and the cost to women and it being a great thing. And so last night we went to see the movie Unplanned, and as I watched that movie, I knew even before, when that movie was announced, that God was going to call me to do this video. And I'm going to ask a favor of anybody who actually watches this, that you share this video liberally. Meaning that even though it's probably one of the hardest things for me to talk about, it actually is a thing right now where I see God's kids like standing up to basically tell the truth about something that's been kept a really ugly lie, and our shame has kept us locked down from really talking about probably one of the greater evils perpetrated in our time, especially in America, and it's this thing called abortion. So I'm not going to talk to you about the reasons why I chose to go that route. I mean, that can be for another day. It's not like I wouldn't want to tell you, but what I really do want to tell you, probably one of my bigger concerns as we watch the movie, was that people will see it and partly write off that this was a dramatization because it was a film. And I will tell you that I want to tell my story of what it was like to have an abortion, because I have never experienced anything that I believed was one thing and was just such a lie. And so I'll never forget the night that I went to the clinic, and yes, there were protesters outside that clinic, and I can't say they were the kindest, most loving Christians I've ever met. I think that's changed some for people being prayerful and loving. That was not my experience, which, you know, for a lot of years gave me a real difficult time with the church and what love looks like. Probably formed some of my beliefs about what love looks like today. So maybe it's not all a bad thing, but not a pleasant experience. But I remember the contrast of coming into this clinic, and the kindest person I'd ever met just kind of was going to show me my choices. And honestly, there was no choice. Like, they presented one choice. It was the only choice. And so the whole name pro-choice cracks me up, because it's not about choice. It's about pro-abortion. I wish they'd just call themselves the pro-abortion movement and be done with it. But just this kind-hearted person, this is nothing, fetal matter, you know, yada, 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 nothing to ever tell me I would live with regret, I would have pain, that I would grieve for years to come, especially when I wasn't able to have children. I mean, nothing was shared along those lines. It was just this quick procedure of something that didn't matter, kind of like having a mole removed. And so the next day I went back for the procedure, and I remember laying on that table and being dilated, and somewhere in there God got a hold of me, and I said, I can't do this. Like, this is not an okay thing. This is a horribly evil thing. And the nurse that was with me, I told her, I can't do this. Like, I can't have this. And she said, nope, the doctor's coming in. And she turned downright mean. As the best I can say is, this woman became mean. I remember her holding my arm down, and the doctor coming in, and me trying to get off the table, and I'm just saying, you're too far. We've got to do this. There's no option. You would be in danger if we didn't do this. And I remember laying there as that life was sucked out of my body. And until I saw Unplanned, I don't think I had any clue what it looked like for my baby. And so I can't say it was traumatic. God's done a lot of healing work, and so I now realize what was done. But the visual portrayal, yeah, it makes total sense as to what happened. And so I remember sitting in that room, and it looks just like what they show you, with all those women lined up afterwards. No one talking, no one there. All the kind people have now disappeared. No one's supporting you after this procedure. It's kind of like, well, we're done with you. And once I was allowed to leave after recovery, I remember jumping in my boyfriend's car, and as soon as we were out by an alleyway, I said, pull over, and I puked and puked and puked and puked. And it was horrific, and it started a really, really hard journey after that. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to share that there is a huge lie that's called abortion. My heart grieves when I hear people stand up in this new pro-abortion movement saying, I've had 3, it was great, keep going. And yet as a counselor, I have counseled so many women who have gone through the lie of abortion, and it has had devastating impacts on their life. I guess in closing, the other thing I think that is pretty amazing to me is women have made this a women's health issue. And, you know, gosh, there's many things about women's health that we actually, you know, can fully get birth control, can fully do all the health things that we need to do. Even the poor can. I work with the poor, so there's just such a huge lie in that. But I think one of the things that blows my mind is that abortion really comes out of misogyny, a hatred of women, and women have bought into the lie about the hatred of women. I mean, clearly Satan, the curse on Satan was that he was going to strike our heels, strike the heels of women for the rest of our days. And that's really where the roots of misogyny, men hating us, but us hating ourselves, comes from. And I would say I've never seen, as I processed over the years, a greater place for misogyny to take roots, especially in women buying into the hatred of women, than this whole lie called abortion. And so hopefully this helps somebody by my sharing my testimony. If you're a doubter from the movie, I just wanted to tell, I mean, it is a very real thing with horribly damaging effects. And the women who have gone through it are really sold a bill of goods on what this is. And so blessings to you again. I would love to see women start a movement, post-abortive women start a movement to just speak out and say this is really the truth, so that we can overcome this horrible evil of our time called abortion.